Have you ever been hypnotized by someone and then became under their power of suggestion in some way? Hypnosis is real, and being hypnotized and responding to someone's power of suggestion can either permanently or temporarily alter your behavior in some way, either for good or for bad. The funny thing about hypnosis is that people who get hypnotized usually don't know it. It is like the hypnotist enters your mind, tells you to do something, and then you do it without knowing why, and you can't remember being hypnotized. In other words, our brain can be controlled by someone else. Being hypnotized into oblivion can mean that someone or something takes control of your mind until you lose control of your own thoughts. You cannot feel or see the oblivion that is coming for you, and you are walking right into it under someone else's power. Oblivion is the state of being completely forgotten or unknown. A person becomes oblivious when they are lacking remembrance, memory, or mindful attention. Imagine being in someone's control where you are hypnotized into doing things without realizing they are controlling your thoughts and actions. You respond to the stimulus around you and become programmed where you cannot get out of it. It would be almost as if you were a slave without the ability to think for yourself or be able to free yourself from the bondage that has you trapped. It would be like you becoming a slave to your money, to your possessions, and/or to your vices without concern for anyone else. You are hypnotized, programmed, and finally you walk silently to your demise into oblivion. Does all that sound scary, like a science fiction movie? What if it was real and you were hypnotized without knowing it, and you could not see it or feel it? What if someone or something is controlling your thoughts and actions right now and preventing you from realizing what is really happening to you and what is coming next? How would you feel about it if you discovered it was true? Well, it is true for all of us. We are all being manipulated and controlled in some very big ways, and that manipulation through hypnotic suggestion is primarily being done by TV, social media, and internet content, which is constantly seeking your attention and your response. When you respond positively to an advertisement on TV, radio, or social media, then that advertiser has your complete attention and they want to control your thoughts and actions for their benefit. Making money for them is the goal and is what mostly drives the things they want from you, day and night. Years ago, cigarettes used to be constantly advertised on TV and radio as products that were good for you, that made you feel good, gave you pleasure, and those advertisers said that cigarettes actually had health benefits. Now we all know the truth. Smoking is terribly bad for your health, can cause cancer, and can destroy your life. But yet some people are hooked on them because of what cigarettes actually do to you and to your brain. It's all about controlling your thoughts and actions, hypnotizing you into doing what they want. They eventually want to send you into oblivion. The same is true for soft drinks like Coke, Pepsi, etc. Those drinks are full of sugar and unnatural ingredients that are very bad for the human body. Even though these soft drinks may taste good and also have caffeine to give you an artificial boost of energy, all of that is temporary. It has been proven beyond a doubt that these sugary soft drinks are not good for your body and will do harm to you. But yet many people drink them and get hooked, and they cannot stop drinking them. That is the goal of that company, to have you under their control so they can make money. They don't care about you. All of these companies and people who work for them are subliminally hypnotizing you by their convincing speech and actions, but they are only interested in themselves. They care only for the money and not for you. They are subliminally hypnotizing you every time you see an ad for their product. There have also been many people over the years who have manipulated and swindled other people out of great sums of money, like Ponzi schemes, for example. The people who lost their money to that evil person who was controlling them never saw the deception coming because they trusted that person. There have also been many religious leaders who have hypnotized and programmed people to believe what they say, even though they had little proof to back up their claims or they twisted the truth in deceitful ways. These so-called religious leaders get people to uncontrollably fall on the floor through ungodly hypnotic suggestion and move around like fish out of water. These leaders constantly ask for money and command their followers to give thousands of dollars and behave like they are physically out of control. It was and still is all about power and money for many of these leaders, and controlling their followers. These types of so-called religious leaders, along with selfish and manipulative company owners, investment brokers, politicians, and so many other people, just want only what is good for themselves and not you. So who can you trust? The followers and supporters of these evil people are people like you and me who get hypnotized by these deceitful leaders, and without us knowing it. The followers who believed in their leaders go into temporary oblivion and are at the mercy of those evil, selfish people. Their only goal was extracting money from you and me at any cost. We are also being programmed and hypnotized by the music and lyrics we listen to or watch on videos. Music is a powerful entity, and if you listen to the music and words long enough, you will become what you listen to. Music has the power to hypnotize you into oblivion. With all this in mind, what and who do you trust and believe when it comes to the important things in your life? Do you trust and believe in yourself, your friends, your family, your work associates, your governmental leaders, medical people, religious leaders, or advertisers? Many people have faith in something, and they take a leap of faith and trust certain people and certain things in their life, and they don't believe they are being hypnotized and controlled. But our thoughts are being controlled by what we see and hear, but we just cannot feel it. But one day that hypnosis into temporary oblivion will end, and you will wake up and realize that you have come to the end of your life. At that point, you will have done all you can do, seen all you can see, and you will have heard all you can hear. Then you'll realize what is actually coming next, and you will not want to wake up from your worldly oblivion and face what comes next. Your whole life up until that point was filled with distractions and keeping your eyes focused on what was just in front of you. You were born, you were young once, you grew up, and you experienced this mortal life. But now, depending on your age, you are closer to death than ever before. When it comes to the death of a loved one, it is extremely difficult to handle when death takes their life. Enduring the fact that a loved one in your life has died is a painful experience because we have to live without them. Almost all of us have to face that situation one day. Before death comes to each person, we have an opportunity to put our trust and faith in something that will get us beyond a dark pit of permanent despair and loneliness. Do you just want to take your chances when you die and likely wind up in permanent darkness forever, with no more colors and no more light ever again? Are you thinking that someone out there is counting up your so-called good deeds and giving you eternal points? For them, this is just your imagination if you believe that. Rather than help prepare us for our eternity and receive more than a dark grave where our bodies will deteriorate, the world only wants us to concentrate on what is here right now, spend our money and enjoy our mortal lives until the end. If all we ever think about is what's here in this temporary world and not what is coming for us in our permanent eternal future, then we are missing the most important event in our lives, and that is our death one day. For some people, death is a morbid subject and one we really don't want to think about. We don't want to think about our loved ones dying someday or us dying one day. Even going to a cemetery can be so difficult, just looking at all those graves with a dead person under each one. What's the point in dwelling on a sad and depressing subject like that? Nevertheless, death is coming for all of us. You can try not to think about it, but that will not remove the reality of it, and you know it. Have you found the truth yet that will set you free from the fear of death and the fear of no more colors and no more light? This world is full of colors in so many ways. Beautiful colors and images, such as a gorgeous sunset over the mountains, a beautiful ocean scene with soft, velvet waves, a deep green forest with smells of scented wood all around you, a garden full of colorful, blooming flowers, colors everywhere all around us. Did you know that there is no one anywhere in this universe counting up the so-called good things you have done in your life, or all the money you may have given to poor people or other people while you were alive? Nothing from this world will help us when we die. Do you ever look up into the sky or across an ocean and wonder, why am I here and is there more than just this life? If you have not done so already, you need to wake up from your hypnotic trance and temporary state of existence and prepare yourself for your permanent eternal future. It is coming, and depending upon your age, your health, and other circumstances, it could be coming very soon. maybe even tomorrow. We will all be facing darkness and permanent oblivion when we die, unless we do something about it before this life is over. We must seek the eternal truth that can give us assurance and never be taken away. Do you want that truth, or will you be okay with just taking your chances? How important is your eternity to you? If you want something more than this temporary life when it's time for you to leave it, and you want something more than darkness and oblivion with no more colors and no more light, then you need to seek it and prepare for it now, while you still can. You cannot say that I did not warn you. Enjoy this special and unique life you have been given while you can. Smell the roses and love and help your loved ones and people who need you. But never forget, your eternity is coming. You may not want to think about it, but you should. You will not get to a beautiful eternity by chance, by coincidence, because you think you deserve it as a human being, because you took part in certain religious rituals, or because you did so-called good things while you were here. No one is counting up your so-called goodness. Your goodness will not get you there, and there is no objective human standard for the word good, because the definition of good varies depending on who you are, what you do, where you live, what you say, what you think, and who you know. Some people think we just die and are gone, and we won't know we have died when we are dead, so then it doesn't matter. But it does matter if something else is coming next for you, and you want a new beginning of more love, more colors, and more light instead of being confined to a dark pit forever. Then the only way to get it is to know the truth that will set you free to have continued colors and light when you enter eternity, which is forever. Please ask me before it is too late.